Hey everybody, it's Joey and Nate here with the Dixie Doggers. We're coming at you live down here from the dog pound. We got a call the other day from a young man. Well, actually a message, not a call. We got a message from him. His name is Devin Cockrell, and he was wanting us to go over some terminology for people, who don't have the general knowledge. It's general knowledge if you've been around it, in the hunting world, in the dog world, the hog dog world, whatever. And he said that, he was having to just Google words, different things like that. And so we're going to go, that's going to be the topic of this discussion today with me and Nate is, we're going to just go over some words that mean certain things to hog doggers, to dog guys, and to hunters. If we're wrong on some of them, we apologize. If you have some that we don't know or we didn't mention and you think that's important, shoot us a message. You can hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Also, when we do these videos, we put our people we like to mention at the end of them. We're going to change it up a little bit today. Because a lot of times when you're listening to podcasts and videos and stuff, you might not make it all the way to the end. You might click off of it or something like that. So I feel like these people don't get the mentions that they should get. One of them is Crockett Taxidermy. This guy he's been with us through thick and thin, supported us 100% when nobody else would. We got All-American Hound Supply. John Van Note out in Georgia.
Rankin, Georgia, I believe.
Rankin, Georgia. Fin Feather Lodge. Mitchell Lynn Farms.
Mm-hmm.
Scent Balls. Scent Balls, they've done, it's a product, it's been mainly more for deer hunting and stuff, but we've applied it to trapping, and the hogs like it. I need to check them out. They're on every kind of social media platform as well. Check those guys out. See if there's anything in there that you like. We got 2 or 3 other guys here. We got one of them's a local guy. His name's Donnie Yates, DY Outdoors, Whitetails of Alabama.
So all your Tacticam needs, Tacticam reveals, any kind of cameras,
lights.
Anything like that, he's got
all kinds of stuff. He's got all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
He's local here in Carbon Hill, Alabama, but you can find him online. Check him out for any of that. The Right Outdoor Company. He owns that, so
yeah.
He's my sponsor. So like I said, we got quite a few people that really help us out a lot. They help us with certain things, like sponsors. They'll send us some stuff to use and to try out, some products, and then we've got some that they help us get land to hunt. They let us hunt their land, so it keeps us going, and we really appreciate that. Without those guys, it will be a hell of a lot harder. We're big into taking veterans hunting, and those guys, they try to help with that. For over 10 years, I funded all of it out of my pocket. Never asked anybody for anything. I didn't see the need to, because it's my deal. That's what I wanted to do. So, it's just one of them things. So, I don't know who that is messaging me now, but anyway, we got all that out of the way. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the listeners. We've had some good feedback. We haven't had a bunch of negative assholes on here.
No, not too many.
No, they can kiss my ass, the way I look at it. I'm trying to be nice and be helpful, so if you don't like it, don't listen. I wish you would, but I don't care if you don't. So, okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to get into some terminology today. Just terminology for dogs in general. You start out, you got a male and a female. That's, like I said, we're going to go all the way to basic as we can. You got your pups. A lot of people, they get dog pups that are 18 months old, 20 months old and they think that they're a grown dog, but they're not. They're still pups. I mean, you need to
they're crossing over into the young dog
Yes.
stage, but they're not grown.
So you need to wait till, I guess 24 months would be considered, it's about the nominal thing about the adulthood of a dog.
Yeah, largely physically,
Yeah.
but mentally they got to mature.
Yeah. And then you've got,
Because a lot of dogs, they don't get relaying down until they're 3-4 years old.
3 years old or up. And then, which there's some, we've had young dogs that would do it, but I don't think they
There's
even knew what they-
phenomenons and everything.
Yeah, I don't think they even knew what they were doing, per se. And, on the females, you've got different stages of that as well. You got a gyp and a bitch. Gyp dog, that's a younger female, or it can be an older female that has never been bred. Then your bitch dogs, that's after they've had pups, and then, they whelped a litter of pups. Whelping is, raising the pups. That's another word there. And then male dogs, you got stud dogs. That's, you use them to breed.
Yep.
And you got a brood bitch. That's generally a female. That's, a lot of people use them. They'll hunt them for a while. And then when they start to get a little bit older, they kind of retire them and then just, get pups off of them for their personal stuff. They keep that bloodline going if it was a good dog. At least in our case, which there's a bunch of damn puppy millers out there that they'll shit out puppies,
Way more needed.
every 6 months they got another litter off of her. So, and then we get into, I guess, like body characteristics.
Yeah.
If you have pups, a lot of people will clip their dew claws. And dew claws they can be on the front or the back. They look like a little thumb sticking out. That's up higher than the pad, than the paw. I guess then you can say different. Some people clip ears, dock tails. Docking is where you take and you can band it, or you can snip it, either one on the tail part while they're a puppy.
Yeah.
I recommend if you're new to dogs and hunting, take it to a vet. A lot of people say there's no reason to do that, but there are reasons.
Yeah.
We run a lot of terriers, and if terriers, the main reason when they go to ground, you want, like on the Jags, you want like about a 5/8 of the total length of the tail, and that's pretty much their handles, because they'll go in a hole after a varmint or whatever, and that's their handle. You reach down there and you grab that tail and pull it out. Because if it was if they left the last 3/8 of that tail on there, you're just gonna grab it.
Over.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I've seen Jags dock tails, and their tails are gayed very.
Yeah. Gayed is where
Gayed is very curved.
It's very pronounced. That's what we call it.
Like on most hounds.
Yeah, that's what we call a gay tail. I'm sure there's different. It's a different word in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
Then, on ears, people that clip ears. Back to the tail part. One other thing I was going to mention. Bird dogs have a bad tendency at the end of their tail, which I know hounds do, and beagles and stuff like that.
Pits have
The end of their tail, where they're beating the brush or whatever, it'll bust open and there's blood everywhere. We like to dock all the tails that we can.
Except speed dogs, like lurchers, stags, do not dock their tails.
Yeah, that's their steering.
balance.
That's their balance. Like I said, everything does serve a purpose, and there's a reason behind a lot of it that has been done over the course of man having dogs, and it's constantly evolving. Everybody's learning or should be learning. Other body characteristics that we talk about, if a dog is leggy, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's got tall legs,
Proportionally, he looks like his legs are too long.
Yeah, and then deep chest, more like the pointers and stuff is what I like. Have a real big, deep chest down with a V, stag hound, stuff like that. They got a real low, deep chest.
Usually that's a good indicator of stamina.
Mm-hmm. And then you have natural bobtail dogs. That's a lot of a lot of curs.
No, it happens
Little
pretty
tree
regular
dogs.
with mountain curs.
Yeah. And I mean,
Does it
that's where
happen
they're
with
born.
healers?
I think so.
I think it
We
happens,
need to check
but
into
I don't
that.
know.
We don't
I
mess with that.
I don't
so
think
we're not
we've
gonna
ever
say
had
that.
healers.
I had one a long time ago, and it was just a pet. I mean, he was a great dog though. He was rough. He was rough as everything. Let's see what else we got. We drop on down. Okay, like you get a lot of dogs that you'll see that have kind of a smushed in face, like English bulldogs,
Pugs,
Pugs.
Boston Terriers.
Frenchies. That's more of the brachyphilia. That's another term. I don't know that it's used as much as it really should be. You know, a lot of people, they don't really realize what that is. And then you got like a molliser type dog. A molliser is more like the band dog, Presa Canario.
Would Dogo's be included in that?
Yeah, any kind of like any kind of bulldog type dog.
Yeah.
Anything from Staffordshire Terriers to, I guess, Italian Mastiffs. Anything like that would be in the molliser type thing. And then you got like lurcher type dogs too. That's one of my. I mean, I really like the lurcher deal. First one I got was a bull lurcher named Whiskey, and I got it from Roger. As the first, I'd hunted with a bunch before, but that was the first one that I'd got.
She was half pit, half greyhound, was she not?
I think it was 3/4. I think she was 3/4 greyhound and 1/4 pit. And this dog was, you talking about high performance? This son of a gun right here was bad to the bone. She was fast, grit. I mean, she would hit a pig. She could if a hog run across the field, she'd run right past it, get in front of it, get it head on. I mean, that's the speed. But they are a little thin-skinned on some of the greyhound style dogs. I like the stag hound type.
Which we should be able to get put ours to a pretty good test this summer.
Yeah.
She's
We've got one.
mature, so it's time to
She's getting there. She's
put her on the ground style.
she's a year and a half old now, going 2.
Yeah.
So it's time for her to really turn it on. On the molliser type dogs, back years ago, a lot of guys used them for fighting dogs, match dogs, game dogs. Game is a word that is used so loosely, I can't stand it. Everybody said, "Oh, that's a game dog. That's a game dog." How do you know it's a game dog? Have you ever seen if that dog was game? And I mean, and guys that out there know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. You can't just say the dog is game or that's a game pit. It might have came off some older game stock bloodlines.
Now you can say he's game bred.
Yeah. Well, he should be game from his pedigree.
Yes.
From the way he was bred. But until you have tested that dog and seen about it, don't say it's a game. Don't say he's dead game either. Because if he's still alive, he ain't dead game.
He ain't dead.
No, I mean that's another term that's used loosely. It's like, oh my man, that dog dead game. Well, how do you know? Has he ever been killed and he's still hanging on?
Or
That's dead
had his
game.
guts cut out while still hanging on,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like near death.
Yeah, it's a whole nother ball game. That's going to be another subject we're going to get into. Is each one of these breeds of dogs and stuff that we're throwing around out here that we actually discuss. We have them on our yard, and I've had them for years and years and years. I mean, years, decades and decades. So I'm not going to talk about anything that I don't know, and anything that I'm saying is just my personal. It doesn't mean that's what it is, So, like I said, we're just trying to be informative, trying to be helpful as much as we can. Game, and there's gameness, and there's hardness. These are not written in stone. Didn't nobody knock them in the rock with a chisel and a hammer. That's going to be my new saying. You can knock it in a rock.
Knock it in the rock.
You can knock it in a rock. But like we were talking about, gameness is where that dog shows that it wants to. That dog is, if you get it out there and you got it on the lead and you walk close to a pig and it is just pulling and snatching and popping and ready to go. He's a gamey little dog. You know, that means he's wanting to. Now, I have had dogs that I've cut loose and they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
No.
And so they were, we call that Rudy Putin. That means all you're doing is just bluffing. You know, you're just talking shit and you ain't doing nothing at the end. All you're doing is puffing your chest out, you know. Then when it comes to that type of dog, you got, like we were talking about with the brachyphilia, the bite is a very important thing. On your bite, some terminology there would be like overshot, undershot, soft mouth, hard mouth. Undershot is where when it closes its mouth and its incisors on the bottom are sticking out like this. You know, it looks like it's got that.
Underbite.
Yeah, it's an underbite, yeah. And then overshot's the same way. It's like it's buck too fast, dog. A soft mouth, used to hear a lot of old men, and we were way down in South America by the equator, and they would say, man, that dog, he can't bust a grape. You know, it's match dogs. And, you know, they like, it was just a soft mouth dog. And then you'd hear one that, you know, had jaws of steel. He was a hard mouth dog. Hard mouth dog is when he grabbed a hold, he's not letting go. He's gonna break bones.
Gonna break.
He's gonna break bones. He's gonna do a lot of things. Like I said, now those things that I heard then were 30 years ago, way down South America, way down there. And then, you know, so, but it's still applied today in the hog dogging world.
Oh yeah.
You want a hard mouth dog. Yeah, you don't want to send a.
The only time it can kind of be a hindrance is when you got a real hard mouth dog and he catches on the ear.
Tears the whole ear off.
Tears the whole ear off.
Because he's just hanging on. Actually, you know, there's been times, and I'm sure a lot of hunters have been out there where it's easier just to cut that ear off instead of trying to break him. You know, and that's another thing newer guys would need to know about was if you got a hard mouth dog that locks down. You know, the dog's just got such a hard bite.
You usually need to have a good break stick.
You're gonna have to have your good break stick,
or keep a sharp pocket knife. Because if you forget your break stick, it can.
Yeah, just cut the hog's ear off and move on. Because I know people. I've heard so much stuff. Reach down there and blow in his ear. Have you lost your damn mind? You're gonna reach down there and blow in that damn dog's ear right in his face while he's up there just zoned out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. I mean, it's stupid.
Like taking a Vietnam vet. And
throwing firecrackers in his fucking pocket.
Yeah. He's probably not gonna take real kindly to it.
Yeah,
He's
no
got
shit.
tendencies.
Yeah.
Or stick your finger in his butt.
Oh.
First of all, don't.
I used to tell people
That's illegal in
shit
most states.
I tell everybody, I was like, stick your finger in his ass, he'll let go. And they're like, really? I'm like, no.
Why would you stick your finger?
Why would you do that?
Just break the dog off.
And choking dogs down and choking them off and stuff like that, you can damage a lot of stuff on your dog if you do that. It's a lot simpler.
Yeah.
If you don't have a break stick, they can be made pretty easy. There's all kind of videos and stuff. We've got tons of them. If you need one, I'll send you one.
You can use it. I mean, you can whittle. If you got a sharp pocket knife and you can find a stick, just something to break the tension to where.
Yes.
Because he feels it in his mouth and he'll start. If you can press on his tongue.
Under his tongue.
Under it. If you can get it in there.
But you got to get
pry up
to the back. Don't try to go to the front.
The pop teeth.
Yeah, you start
like that. The molars are way more, but
they're
also
seeded more because
if
of
you
the
ever
roots,
get,
right?
yes,
They got more that like
they
got 4 roots.
I believe so.
You got stuff. These are not out of a dog.
Clarification. Those are coon.
These are out of a coon right here, right?
Yeah.
And this got 3. It's got 3 roots, so that's why we say
they're usually not as long.
Break them. That's why we say break them toward the back, then more toward the front, because in the front, that's what you got. It's just one
canine or incisor.
One canine or incisor, and then you got this that goes up like that. I don't know how good you can see it on the camera, but it's got 3 roots, so the pressure, and plus you're going to have more of an opening at the back,
yes,
most likely.
Because the teeth aren't as tall.
Exactly. So we're going to move over to some terminology. We're going to some terminology for hogs. You got your boar, you got your male and female, boar and a sow, or if it's actually it'd be a boar and a gilt to start out with. Then she would progress to a sow, just like we was talking about with the dogs a while ago. She's a gilt until she's been bred. Then they have piglets, and then those turn into pigs, and then the shoats, and then the hogs. Correct? That's the way it goes.
I think it'd be shoats.
Or shoats, then pigs, then hogs as well. That's what we call them anyway.
Yeah.
That we are probably not 100% accurate on that.
Piglets are usually anything under 15 pounds. Shoats 20 to 40.
Yeah.
And
then we call all the rest
60 to 100.
Anything over 125 we call hogs. Yeah. That's just us. That's just
and then,
us.
by God, you can even get real particular and say big hogs.
You
That's
can
usually
say,
anything.
Lord of mercy, he's got a hoof on him that weighed 7 pounds. His track weighed 3 pounds.
Yeah. Big.
You know what I'm saying? Like you get a good dog that can move a track. Well, when you get a hog like we have over here, like some of the ones we have, that son of a bitch can't move that track because it's so heavy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. That's a big hog.
I mean, like think of the term sweat hog. What do you think of? You don't think of nothing little.
Oh, look at that old sweat hog.
I know everybody knows what I'm talking about.
It might be like like Jake and Uncle Pat and them was talking about getting some of that bacteria.
Yeah, from that smell. That
smell,
gets
that smell. You get that smell from the sweat hogs. You can get that bacteria.
Yeah.
Ed Barnes, that one's out there for you, buddy. You might get a little of that bacteria from them sweat hogs if you don't watch it.
Yeah, some of them don't need a track. You can just smell them.
Yeah, you can sniff them out. All right, back to the terminology. All right, on a boar is an intact male, which means he has his reproductive organs still intact. Then you have a bar hog, which is...
He just got his nuts cut, basically.
Okay, that's Professor Nate right there. Just cut his cods off.
Cut his cods off.
You don't cut them off. You make an incision, pop them out, clip the string.
It reduces testosterone. That allows him to put on weight. That's
he gets
what,
big.
You see a lot of younger boars. They'll be real tall, maybe even real long, but they don't weigh that much because they're not real fat.
Exactly.
But a sow of the same height and length will weigh 50 more pounds because she's fat.
Yeah, because she's got that
So
weight
if
on.
it's legal in your state, in Alabama, it is not.
It's not legal here to have a wild hog alive at any time.
It must
Once
be
you
killed
have
upon
captured it,
capture.
And check all your rules, laws, and regulations in your state. Don't take the words that are coming out of our mouths and say, oh, well, I thought it was okay because so-and-so said it. No, hell no. You check your stuff because everywhere's different.
I think on the Indian reservation down south you can.
I don't know. I got a contact down there. I need to contact him and ask him about how it is on the on all the Indian land here, because I think they have a little bit different set of guidelines, and so I'll check into that and we'll get back to y'all on that. But bar and a hog was a big thing in my life when I was younger, because we lived on a hog farm in Arkansas.
Like cutting steers?
Yeah, we didn't band them, it was pretty much Saturday and Sunday you were out there slinging them down, snipping or cutting and snipping, and take some Crisco, slap it on that ass and let it go. I don't know what the deal was with all that, but that's what my uncle, he's actually my great uncle, but him and Dad and all them were so close the same age, back years ago. It was commonplace to have an uncle or an aunt that was near your age or maybe even younger, because people kept having big families. We ain't gonna get all off into that because that'd be a whole nother subject.
We don't want to talk about family. Rambling fever.
We're rambling now. We're doing a little Merle Haggard on rambling a ding dong. The wrangling a ding dong. Hey, y'all check out the new movie. I think it come out just the last part of last year. Dolomite. Got Eddie Murphy in it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's hilarious. It's about Rudy Ray Moore back in the '60s and '70s, coming out with a bunch of the old dirty jokes and tapes and stuff. But that's another rambling deal there. All right, on dogs a while ago, I jumped over the colors. There's some slang terms. I ain't gonna say they're slang terms. They're terminology. Dog's eyes, Catahoulas, glass eyes. They look white. Huskies have it. Malamutes, different type dogs like that. Then you'll have a cracked glass eye, which means like it's got like a little bit of white in it, or it could be mostly white and have other little colors. It looks like it's actually cracked. Colors on the body. I mean, you got a tricolor dog.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of stuff that we use. I mean, everybody knows their damn basic colors, I'd hope. You got, I don't know, all the basic colors, and then you got some that are mixed up. You got Merle. Merle can be like on a lot of Catahoulas, which now they've adapted that into, oh my God, they're saying Merle Bulldogs, and I don't get all that, but it looks like the dog is spotted up. It can be red and brown and white, or black and gray and white. A lot of people call them patchwork. Call it patchwork. So that's another word there. Then you got dogs that have, like you'll have a lot of, like the blackmouth curs. They'll have a mask, what we call a mask, and it'll be like the nose and the face is mostly black, and the rest of it's
just a solid buckskin.
Yeah, buckskin or roan or whatever color. Tricolor dog. Like, I mean, just three colors.
Three colors. Like our bull terrier, he's tricolor. He's black, tan, white.
Yeah.
You have different kinds of brindles too, which is
Yeah.
kind of like tiger stripes. You can have everything from black brindle to red brindle.
Ghost brindle, where you can't hardly see it at all.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
Like our bulldog Catahoula mix out there. He's red brindle, but like he's still got the patchwork.
he's
like
a patchwork brindle dog.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We're gonna get some pictures of some of these full-blooded Arkansas travelers we got. We're gonna get some pictures of them and put up so you guys can kind of see what we're discussing when we say these certain words to some of the newer guys, and then some of the more experienced hunters and dog guys, y'all can make fun of our dogs.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got one named Tyson, the one we were just talking about, and I'll show you his face, and it includes every damn thing that we have said today: brachyphilia, undershot, overshot, buckshot. It don't make a damn. This dog's got it all.
Yeah,
He is the ugliest son of a bitch you ever seen in your life, but he's beautiful.
Yeah.
He is a sure enough hog dog. And that's another word. I don't know how it's used in other parts of the country, but sure enough is used here.
Yes.
When that means that is a phenomenal dog. When you say, boy, that's a sure enough hog dog right there, that means that son gonna do it.
Yeah.
Then you got other terms, like with coon dogs and treeing dogs, you got a stay put tree dog, which means that when he goes to tree,
he's there till you come get him.
He's gonna run the track, he's gonna burn it up, he's gonna put it up to wood, and he's gonna stand. And he might stand there all day long and chop on that tree. And see, that's a whole nother kind of lingo there that's kind of outside the hog dogging part, but it's used with the dogs, with the dog terminology. So like I said, everything we're doing, we're just trying to be helpful. That's all we're trying to do. And like I said, give a shout out there to Devin Cockrell for messaging me and letting us know that that some people needed a few words out there. And I didn't think about it at first, but in all honesty, I wish I'd have known a lot of this stuff when I was younger, when I first started. That's weird. On the hogs, you got colors. And they can go over some of the colors on
So colors, basically, you have blonde hogs. Those are typically spotted. Most white hogs will have black spots on them. Then you can have red hogs, black, solid black. Those are basically three main ones. Like I said, you can have spotted varieties of all kinds.
Oh yeah.
Red and black spotted ones, white and black spotted ones.
Belted.
Yeah, then belted, where they'll basically just have like one chunk of
Yeah, it's
white,
like a stripe almost.
almost like a
white.
little Oreo.
Yeah. Or vice versa. It can be either.
But predominantly, those are the main
Yeah.
colors. We killed our first blonde hog. He was solid blonde. He didn't have any
Yeah.
black or nothing. He just
I mean,
But-
not a spot on him.
and
Thought he was solid white
yeah.
at first, and
Oh, he's pretty
but he.
sandy.
Yeah, he was just a blonde hog, big hog too, 290 pounds, big hog, and that ain't guesstimating. That's on the scales. And I know to some people 290 ain't that big. Y'all kill 500 pounders all the time, but here where we're at, 290 is a big hog. Then, like we were talking about with the belted hogs and the spotted hogs, a lot of that is from blooded hogs.
Mm-hmm.
They're not wild Russian boars. You know, they're
Feral pigs.
they're feral pigs. Most likely at one time, you know, they were on a homestead in the, you know, all the way from the early 1900s on through probably the 70s and 80s. There was a lot of people that were still let their hogs run loose, and they would just catch them, pull them up, mark them, bar them, stuff like that, and then, you know, of course, those hogs, some of them got out and bred with other hogs, and that's how you get. That's the terminology for a blooded hog. You got so many different kinds that we've caught. There's not a whole lot of different kinds that we've caught in the wild, but like you can get like the Spanish mulefoot.
Regular Choctaw mulefoots.
Yeah,
That's a real locality specific.
yeah.
I know
I
it's
think
South Alabama.
I was going to
Southeast
say
Alabama.
the guy I was talking
Some
about at the
Georgia.
Indian reservation.
Yeah.
He caught a few mule-footed hogs last year, or it might have been the year before last,
Yeah.
and which I think they I don't know what they're doing with them. You know,
Yeah, I mean, it's just mulefoots.
yeah,
Where the old Choctaw Indian reservation was.
mule-footed hog does not have a split in it.
Yeah.
It has. It looks like
Solid
a little horse hoof, and they generally the hoof sides tends to be small.
Yeah.
Because we've raised mulefoots for years.
They look like they have like little what are those wooden
Little
shoes?
clogs,
Yeah, little
like
clogs.
the Danish wear.
Yeah, like their feet usually like they're turned
Looks like
in
a
and
fat
curved
guy
down.
in tight cowboy boots.
Yeah, well,
They come to a point almost.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that could really kind of throw you off if you don't know you have that line of hogs around there.
yeah,
And you see the track, you wouldn't even know what it was. You'd be like, what the hell's that? It looks like a deer.
yeah.
Russian hogs, you know,
They're typically more shorter and taller.
and meaner.
Yeah.
We've only been in them, and it's, you know, of course, I'm not a geneticist. I didn't do DNA and pull all that. All I can do is go by the history of all the local people telling me what happened. And this is over in Mississippi at a friend of ours' place. They actually, years and years ago, somebody supposedly had released a certain amount of imported Russian hogs on this property. And then over the years they've got out. And I'm telling you, we have went over there, and I'm talking about turning loose 7 or 8 dogs that are catching and can't hardly stop them.
Yeah, they're powerhouses.
And they'll hit a river.
They're so fast.
When they come across the field, you can't get it even shooting. I mean, it's hard they're a whole nother deal. You got the old piney wood rooters.
Typically very long-nosed looking pigs.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've heard of a lot of older gentlemen from Mississippi of various races refer to them as N-word pigs.
Yep. And then you got also you got, I think down around like Louisiana, Texas, South Mississippi, all in that area, Arkansas,
Like
all the
their
Delta.
head is literally as long as their whole body.
Yeah.
Like, they look really
They
weird.
look odd, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've called them here. They're just old feral hogs, you know.
Yeah, and they're usually almost always jet black.
Yeah. Well, when they're piglets, they have a lot of them have, we call them racing stripes. You know, they're like a rust color stripe all over the little pigs and the piglets. Then you got hogs with wattles.
Yeah.
And I knew about these all my life. Like I said, though, I was raised on a hog farm. You know, hogs were a common thing my whole life. I don't know that I've ever went more than a couple months and not had at least a domestic hog in the pig.
Yeah. Pork tastes really good.
Yes, sir.
No reason to not have it on hand.
And then I seen a video last year, I believe it was, and I think it was Pigman. He killed a hog and it had wattles on it, and they were in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And he didn't know what the hell they were. He's like, "What in the hell are these things on it?" And it's like two little,
Like little
I don't know,
teats,
yeah,
like proud flesh.
yeah, it looks like proud flesh hanging off of their neck. You get on a real big bore hog, and I mean, it looks like they'll be 2 or 3 inches long, and you know, as big around as a golf ball. I've seen some of them that are big.
I mean, there's like one particular homestead hog breed. It's like Texas red wattles.
Yes,
I think.
that's
And
what
those-
Mr. Charlie raises. That's what
that
we
big
got.
boar he's got over there is
That
huge.
son of a gun is
That's a
huge.
500-600 pound hog.
Hell, I don't know how long he. Honestly,
He's
I'd be.
probably 9, 10 foot long.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to sit here and be like, "Oh, well, that hog's 9 foot long." Literally, I've
You
been a
stand
builder.
beside him and you're like, ugh.
That's what I'm saying. I've been a builder since I was a teenager, and my whole life is, you know, measuring stuff. Pretty decent at judging, and if that hog ain't 8 foot long, I don't think he's nothing. But he's big. He's a big hog, and he's not fat. Big old long, lean son of a gun. I mean, he's a big dude. And domestic hogs, you got, man, there's so many varieties of them. What I suggest on that part is honestly to Google it.
Yeah.
Check on the internet. That way you can look and see what the color schemes on a lot of these hogs are, the sizes, different things like that.
Yeah, and a lot of those blooded hogs, because domestic hogs will get out. That's where feral pigs come from, and so you notice, like you'll have these domestic hogs, and they'll just be slightly altered, and their colors will change once they integrate into the wild if they get loose.
Yep.
Or even if there's been a lot of pig farmers, they'll have wild boars come up there and breed their sows to the fence, and then they have little half breeds everywhere.
That's right. Then we're going to go to just some other like hunting terminology. Of course, you got in the hog dog world, you got, you know, a bay dog. Bay dog is a dog that's going to bay the hog. Bay means barking at the hog, keeping it in a certain place and holding it there until you get there with a catch dog. The bay dog's job is, you know, to have control of that hog. It's a lot of people think because a dog will bark at a hog that's a bay dog. That's nothing further from the truth in my eyes, because
It's a dog barks at a cow, it
Yes.
means a cow dog.
I started going to some of the bay pen competitions and watching how some of those dogs work. And I literally have watched, I watched a young dog, still a pup, anywhere from 12 to 16 months old. I've watched those type dogs in the bay pen world. I've watched them take a 200-pound hog, and that hog would never do more than one step either way, frontwards or backwards. They knew how much to pressure that hog and when to back off and not pressure. And it's the same. It's the same thing with a woods dog. Of course, there's a lot more variables in the woods, but like I said, bay dog is a whole nother ball game. And then you got, like I said, we got the catch dogs. Catch dogs, their job is to catch the hog when you get there to the bay. So there's so many different type of catch dogs. More like the mollister dogs and things like that. You got walk-in catch dogs or lead-in catch dogs, running catch dogs, stuff like that.
A lot of your walking catch dogs you're typically going to see
Big jug heads.
Yeah.
So
Like a linebacker to come in there and just
hammer time. That son of a gun comes in there and hits like Refrigerator Perry does,
Oh yeah.
You can take some catch dogs and use them multi-purpose like that. Because like that dog we was talking about, Tyson. You can put him on a lead, walk him in. He generally acts pretty good on the lead. He's not jumping and acting crazy, and you can send him.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, you can send him however
And if they
far
go in
you
there
want.
and bust up, if they got a sounder bait,
Mhm.
he can actually, and he's got a decent enough nose
Yeah.
where he can pick out a singular track kind of, and eventually,
He can run track. We've caught a lot of hogs with him by himself, and he is not.
it's not old sign.
He's not a short range dog either. You would
Yeah.
think a lot of people. You know, I mean, I would thought at first I was like, well, he might go a couple 100 yards. Dude,
No.
this dog will put some miles on the feet. I'm talking about. But that's how you gotta, you gotta know how to bring him into your pack or somebody else's pack and work it accordingly.
Oh, yeah.
And more often than not, a rough dog that's longer range is a hurt dog or a dead dog. And that's why old Tyson's jaws have been broke and he's been cut up, beat up, banged up so bad it ain't even funny. Which goes right into rough dogs. When somebody says rough dog,
Think of a dog that doesn't bark very much, but will catch, but he will still bark. He goes in there, like you have rough bay dogs, like they go in there, if that hog moves, he's not going to nip it, he's going to catch it.
he's gonna catch a hold to it.
And he might let go and stand back and bay it again, but he's probably just going to lock on. He's probably going to try him. A lot of times, especially with younger rough dogs, they'll go in there, hit him, and that hog gives him
That's
a little
what
bit
you
more than he
call
wants.
a bay buster.
Yeah.
That's another term right there. You younger, newer hunters and stuff like that. If you're going and say like the terriers, we love the terriers. They have their place, and I will never be without them. But I mean, for a long time it was, and a lot of it was partially my fault, and some of the other guys that were with me, or not with me, I was with them. I'll rephrase that. They started me hunting. I was just tagging along. With the Jags and the Patterdales and stuff, there were some videos put out, and people would see these little dogs go in there and grab these monster hogs, and just, I mean, the damn hogs doing a tornado, and the dogs will not let go. And so everybody wanted these little pocket rockets. And what happened is once you got one, they're so high strung and high energy. I mean, they will kill everything. A good one, honestly. They're not pets. I won't sell them, any of mine. I will place them with certain people, and usually it's only about one every 2 or 3 years. But they all became bay busters. They'd seen that little dog in, and he'd go in there and smack a big hog right upside the head. Yeah, he would catch and hang on, but he wasn't big enough to stop it. And so there you go on another race again. And so that's a perfect scenario of a bay buster. So if you're out there and you're new to it, you want to get a little dog that you want to catch with, reconsider that unless you have a pack of those little dogs.
Yeah.
Now, I dropped 4 or 5 on the ground at one time. I
Yeah.
catch anything I want to.
Yeah.
And it's just all in how you work. And it took a lot of.
And that's one thing, trial and error. You
Yeah.
have to, if you're going to have a hunting buddy and y'all and your dogs aren't exactly the same style, you have to be very methodical with how you hunt it, because you can easily just get aggravated and not want to hunt with each other.
Oh yeah.
Not even because of each other, just
Yeah, it's
because
just
your dogs don't line up.
Because of the scenarios and the way the dogs don't line up together. Exactly like you said. You got to the bay buster deal. That's what you call a break. A hog breaks. That means that the hog has been under control. The bay dog has done its job. It's got it stopped. It's got it set there. And all of a sudden it's gone again. That's what we call the hog breaking. Then you got on the dog part. You got a dog. What we call a term would be bottom. Bottom, and I like I said, I'm sure everybody and every.
I thought we covered this already on a previous episode.
Yeah, but I still want to for Devin and a couple other guys. I wanted to throw that out there. I mean, you can go back and watch every episode that we've done, and we have covered almost everything in here, but we didn't go in depth and explain what each word meant.
Yeah, we didn't really. Webster's dictionary.
Exactly, and that's what we're trying to do as much
We
as
use
possible.
a lot of these words as adjectives to describe bigger ideas.
Exactly. Well, you got a dog with a lot of bottom. That means that dog's going to stick with a hog. If it runs 2 miles, it's going to stay there, and it's just going to stick and stick and stick with it. Another word, we call it get gone. You got foot warmers, which is a dog that just stays right around. He don't want to go nowhere. They don't last. They got to go for us. And then you got dogs that have some get gone to them. That dog, you're not going to see that dog until there's a hog. And then even if there's a hog, if it's relaying, you're probably still not going to see the dog, until it's done. You either catch the dog.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who say the term, you want to quit catching hogs, catch the dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
We had a couple like that.
Yeah, catch the dog. Don't worry about the pig, get that dog.
Yeah, because
it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
He's
I want
been
to
there
go
all
home.
day.
I want to go home.
And then the terminology treed. That's, you got coon hunters, squirrel hunters, stuff like that. But in hog hunting, everybody says they're treed because it's what's on the garment, and it's the same thing as being bayed. That's another thing for newer people. Learn your electronics, learn your Garmin, get with somebody who can show you what what these little lines mean.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like with experienced hunters, and we've had several discussions with other people. If that dog is running or if that on the Garmin, if it shows that dog is a straight line, I probably know that that's not going to be a hog or a pig. It's going to be something else. So I need to correct that right off the bat. If you look at your update rate and how fast your dog is going, if you've got a dog that's staying 4 mile an hour, say he's running 4 to 5 miles per hour, and with the update he's staying pretty steady with that, then all of a sudden he moves up to 8 to 10 miles an hour. Well, keep in mind, say, hey, this dog is going faster, so that means he's running track. And then if it gets to where he's blowing it out, where you get anything moving over 10 mile an hour, you got a fast dog.
Yeah.
To us. Unless you get in like the
fox pens.
Yeah, the big, I'd say fox hounds and stuff, cat hounds, stuff like that. They'll move a lot faster.
I don't know.
Some
It's
deer dogs.
so hard to find anything out about cat hounds unless you know somebody with cat hounds.
Yeah, cat hounds are like a secret society, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's a big money deal there. You get into anything that catches, bobcat dogs, shoot, you better take out a loan if you're going to get one.
Yeah.
Also on your Garmin, you got a bark detection on there. You can put it on there for bay dogs, and it'll tell you how many barks a minute that they're doing. So if you're running an open dog, your dog barks every so often, it'll tell you. But if you're running, say if you are running an open dog, and then that dog starts barking a lot more and you can't hear it, it'll come up on your Garmin and it'll say, 40 barks a minute, 80 barks a minute, or whatever. So get to know your electronics.
Yeah, but slight
Helps a lot.
user beware
Yeah.
on the bark alert in our personal experience, and that's why
I said if you got an open dog and it's a bay dog.
Yeah.
I know where you're going.
They might be saying, like our silent dogs will be running and you'll be like, oh, Tyson, for example, is barking 20 barks a minute. Like the dog
He's caught.
doesn't even bark on the chain hardly, and he's just breathing so hard while he's running.
A lot of times they're caught. You go in there
Yeah.
because they're growling or whatever, it'll set that bark alert off too.
Yeah, so
But yeah, the bigger dogs.
user beware. If you have a real, especially if your dog, you're trying to get them in shape, if they're breathing real heavy, it can set it off too.
Put it on there and try that, because we've actually witnessed it. Seen the dog
Yeah.
in the field standing there and he's just sucking wind hard as he can,
Seen him running.
and the bark detection's going off. So and he's not barking, and we're looking at it. So it's not one of those things we're guessing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That, like I said, running. We use all running catch dogs most of the time, real rough stuff. So anytime our dogs stop, if it says treed, you need to go. if they get in a spot and they're only moving, say you go on the go on your compass part and it shows your dog and they're moving, it doesn't show them tree, but they've been in the same location within 5-10 yards, you need to get there. Because just because it doesn't say that they're treed, that doesn't mean that they don't have a hog stopped. It can be a multitude of things. There's a lot of misinformation, and there's so much stuff about this I don't know. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I went with some guys, and I went with a friend of mine not long ago. Went squirrel hunting, and the dogs were across a pond. A pig had run by us, and the dog was chasing it. And I knew that they kept saying that it was treed, but like I said, we were squirrel hunting, and we got into discussion about it. I said, well, they ain't baying that hog. They were like, well, no, it showed him treed. I was like, well, yeah. And they said, no, if he's treed, that means he's got to be looking up. I said, no, that's not how that is. And like I said, a lot of it's just not knowing.
As far as the indicator on the Garmin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A lot of it's just because they haven't been in that scenario. Like I said, our dogs have said, treed, and they're in a hole, or in a cave, or under a bluff or whatever. Oh, and that's another thing on electronics.
Yeah, you get around power lines and
Strip pits.
Strip pits typically aren't that good. Anything with very sharp increases in altitude, you can find yourself in a hole, and your actual handheld won't have any GPS reception, so you can't even really figure out where you are sometimes. So
exactly.
And and like Dad said, like you get dogs that go into bluffs, you live farther up in more mountains than we do, you could get into actual caves, and then or go underground, either way, and you'll lose reception because the GPS is not made for that. It's not, the reception is not going to penetrate the rock.
You have to have a what is it, the Devon box?
I think so.
Devon, something like that.
Yeah, something like that, where you just hold it on the ground.
It's made for terriers, for going what they call go to ground, which is an earth dog, which goes in a hole and gets it quarry or prey, whatever. Also, we like I said, any other things that terminology or words or anything that you guys know that you think we need that would be important, shoot us a message, let us know, and we'll bring it up in the next video, in the next podcast, and address it or whatever. We've got we live here in central Alabama, Walker County, and we're just now starting to get pigs in the past couple of years close to us. For years, we had to go off and go hunting and stuff like that. I'd drive 2 or 3 hours just to go look at a pig track, honestly. And we're starting to get, and for a long time, I was one of the only guys. I think there was only one other guy that hunted here, maybe two. And now there's getting to be a pretty good group of guys.
Well, in the past 5 years, it's definitely increased.
Yeah,
which makes it more fun, honestly.
Oh yeah, we got other hunters that we can, talk, shoot shit with, and cut up.
Yeah, you can network.
Trash on each other and all that stuff. So if you need help with hogs in this area, Walker County, Jefferson County, Winston, Tuscaloosa County, all around through there, holler at us. If we can't help you, or if we're busy with something else, I've got other guys right here. Jonathan Thompson, Heath Calicott, Jacob Kilgore, Rodney Bell, Grant Masterson, all these guys. And there's still a bunch more. You got Adam Brown.
Quite a few people that just go and shoot hogs now.
And then I know some guys that do nothing but trap. We do all of it. And I know some guys that do nothing but thermal. If you have problems, like I said, it doesn't even just have to be right here in the immediate area. It can be Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana. Like I said, if we can't come help you, holler at us. We can put you in touch with some other guys.
Do some networking.
I think that's one of the biggest problems I've seen in the hog hunting community. Is everybody is it's like they're against each other. They're like they're fighting with each other constantly. It's like it's like a bunch of damn schoolgirls. You're jealous because this guy went over here and caught these other hogs. Look, the name of the game is to catch the pigs. Is to catch the hogs. You know, if you've got some agriculture and a bunch of farmland, these farmers need some help. Well, if you and your 2 or 3 or 4 dogs ain't getting all of it done, and I know most of you guys do this, you got another guy that, you know, y'all network together, you got a couple of buddies. Well, give another crew, let them come over there and hunt with you. That's where you got to be able to trust each other.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where you have to be a man of your word on both ends. You have to trust this guy's not going to come over here and try to take your land, and then, you know, he's got to be man enough to not even worry about all that.
Oh, yeah.
If he wants to go hunt, just holler at you. That's all you got to do. That's like us. If somebody wants to go hunting and we're able, call us. You can go with us. Bring your dogs. We'll go have some fun. We'll kill some pigs.
Oh, yeah.
That's where all the best stories are made, I think. We have a lot of good hunting stories that we've got just between us, but when we go with other people, we have some good stories.
Yeah. Something always ends up happening.
Most of the time, it's me falling in the creek.
Yeah.
That always happens. I think.
I always enjoy seeing Rodney get naked. Basically, that man will strip down to his drawers in a heartbeat.
Rodney Bell will take his clothes off quick. You got to watch him. But he's camera shy too. But I do have some good videos.
Oh yeah, we have some great
that
videos.
we really need to post, so Rodney can get the exposure that he deserves.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we discussed we would try and get him on as a guest in the next episode, so y'all will finally get to meet the man, the myth, the legend, Rodney Bell.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
And in the great words of him, if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly.
All right, folks, that's about it for this episode. We appreciate y'all, man. The response that we've got, we're really happy. I mean, honestly, it makes us feel important. Makes us feel like we're doing something that's worth doing.
Yeah, we were already enjoying it. Now that y'all are enjoying it, it's like, wow,
pushing
okay.
it over. Yeah.
We've gotten everybody's responses wrote down.
Yep.
Because we made several posts on Facebook and we put them out through several different groups that we're in and on our personal pages. And so everything is accounted for and put down, and we're working on and scripting out new episodes so we can give y'all the information and discuss the topics y'all wanted.
Starting next episode, we will have guests. I mean, look, it might be our dog Tyson, but we're going to have a guest. So we're going to start having guests and get other points of views on every episode that we can.
Some of them might just be discussion style. Some of them might be interview style. It might
some
be
of them might
important
just be shooting the shit.
Yeah, or it might actually be shooting shit. You never can tell.
Exactly. You never can tell. Like I said, I do want to give that shout out to our local guys, JT, Heath, Jacob, Keoki, Van. Like I said, everybody knows Rodney and Grant. So we got to throw them out there. Kenneth Cox,
Oh, short Cox.
Plyman, all these other guys. And I mean, look, I know guys, there's so many of y'all that I know, if I haven't said your name, I'll say it sooner or later. It might be good and it might not be good. I don't know.
We love you no matter what.
Exactly. All right, look, April 9th, 10th, 11th, the weekend of that, we got the AHTA, which is the American Hunting Terrier Association. We got the trials coming up in Kentucky at Rabbit Run Wildlife Management Area.
When is Pistol Creek's boat here?
I don't know. I got to get some dates on that. We'll touch base.
Try and keep y'all updated with that if y'all haven't heard.
Yeah, they're just finishing up Uncle Earl's today.
Yeah.
We didn't get to go. We wound up going and buying a dog I've been trying to get for 5 years. And the guy called and said, "Hey, come get him." So I pushed the skinny pedal down and emptied the left pocket, and we was gone and back. Waffle House, truck stop, home, just like that. 10 hours round trip, but we got him. And we're gonna be doing some of that he and shin with that dog and making some babies, keeping that bloodline alive. We're gonna get into the bloodlines on several different types of breeds of dogs that we're familiar with, that we have and that we've owned. That's gonna be another good topic there. And I want to get in more depth on some of these other bloodlines with other people.
So yeah, so we're gonna get back into the bloodlines in future episodes, and especially when it comes to like the hounds. I know me personally, there's so many breeds of hounds for one, and for two, there's so many bloodlines because you can have walkers. You got treeing and running, and then you have different strains or bloodlines of those.
Foxhounds, Julies, all crossed into
Deer
them.
hounds,
Man,
bobcat hounds, everything. So that's a whole.
I'm intrigued by a lot of that.
We're gonna have Uncle Pat on this show because that man has some knowledge.
Yes.
Ed. I know
Yeah, we'd
Jason,
love to check out the Hog Dog Nation podcast.
please.
Got to holler at the
Ed Barnes' book.
Yep.
It's just basically a paper form of what we've been saying.
Yes.
Probably even more methodical.
Yes. Great book.
Another thing, probably have some sort of health care, just caring for your dogs in future episodes. I know we haven't covered that
Well, let's
yet.
get in that time of year with all the rain and stuff and the heat. You might start doing, especially in the south.
You gotta start adjusting.
Yep.
You gotta get ahead of the curve before fleas and
Gonna get into feed. Stuff like that. All right, guys. We love y'all. Thank y'all. We out.